you. We get $7 billion on GST, but the money turns over and over and over. So every business gets, FBT. We used to all make more money when we went to lunches and complained on tax because we came up with good ideas. We built rapport, and business was doing well. He said, get rid of the bloody FBT tax. Let's go back to where you can claim it, where people are communicating again, where they come up with ideas, where they build loyalty in business, where people start spending again. All his policies is about getting this country to spend money again. It's all costed that we still pay what we should pay to run the country. The $80 billion he wants to put back into hospitals, he's saying, give it straight to the hospitals from the federal government. It doesn't need to go to the state government. It doesn't need to go through the red tape. It doesn't need to lose millions along the way because it goes through state government. Straight from federal government to the hospitals. Again, common sense. The man is just brilliant on common sense. Oh, and here's another one, right? No one can afford to buy a house anymore. People stop spending. So he says anyone who has a mortgage, the first $10,000 is tax deductible every year, right? And the reason being is because if we do that, people will be building houses again. Construction will have business again. We'll get the country moving again. The building business is dead. Like, yes, you're giving on one hand, but you're making 10 times on the other hand. What the other parties are doing is just spending with things that don't make money back for the country. I mean, common sense, common sense, common sense. He's not a politician, he's a businessman. He's a very clever businessman. Okay, so that's Clive Palmer. Happ, okay? Happ knows business. Happ has made money and lost money. There's not many things in life that I haven't had experience in. I've had 8 debates now with Senator Thistlethwaite and Professor Fedley, who, when I heard who I was up against in this electorate, was very intimidating. After a couple of debates, it wasn't intimidating at all. Not at all. Because none of them know that they don't. He's been a senator for years, and he starts talking about his own policies in his party, but he's never experienced them. I'm a person that's lived through the experience of those policies. The heart surgeon who's worth millions doesn't live through. I'm an average Australian who's lived through what most Australians have lived through. I can relate to most of the questions the candidates had. I could relate to firsthand, say my son, my daughter, my mother, myself. They couldn't at all. So although they were intimidating from their backgrounds, they weren't intimidating once I started debating them. Right, I will. I found out with this electorate that I love. I've grown to love this electorate. It has my River Beach, it has Little Bay, it has Clove Valley, it has Coogee. It is the most, I have landed the best electorate in Sydney, and I absolutely adore it. And I've got to know the people. But there's some real issues here, serious issues. There's just, the defence site is full of asbestos. They dumped it, finally got them moved, and they dumped it beside the children's centre. 60 kids, in front of 60 kids, we've got photos. And it's all in mounds of asbestos, not covered, not anything, dust flying everywhere. Malabar Headland has asbestos, that's why the horses aren't there anymore. You've got a shooting range, one of the most beautiful parts of Australia, so people can walk this far, but they can't walk all the way around. For God's sake, put them out, if they want to shoot, go out in the middle somewhere, don't go on the bloody water and stop people on the headland. There are so many issues in this electorate, environmental issues, but people who've got communities here, that we've got an endangered species in this electorate called Banksia in fauna, and people were fighting to save it in the national park, and the government came at 4 o'clock in the morning on Good Friday and just railroaded it. So they had, woke up the next morning, it was gone, and no say. There's been so many people wanting to have a say. And not the New South Wales Senator, Matt Thistlethwaite, who was our Labor candidate, had his chance. He was the Senator for New South Wales, did nothing. But now he's out there going, oh, fight for you, I'll fight for you. He could have fought for you before now, right? And Peter Garrett, the environmentalist, was the sitting lower house, the sitting member here. He did nothing. And this electorate, more than any other electorate in Australia, has some serious environmental issues that need to be solved, because you don't realise how sick you'll get if they're not solved. I spent some time in Gladstone, my mother, with my sister, and You wouldn't, the street we lived in, everybody is dead or has cancer, including my sister and my mother. Because there was a lumen plant there. And there's a civil suit up there now. This electorate is in danger of that, and most people live here don't realise that. And I never knew that until I came to this electorate. I've been up against these people not knowing as much as they do, but I've studied it hard now. One thing I do know, they might know me, but I'm going to fight more. They're not fighters. They're just politicians and heart surgeons. I'll make sure it happens. I'll leave no stone unturned. Nobody will. No, they won't like me very much. I'll be in government, going to the media against my own government if they don't bloody fix it. That's the difference. I'm a fighter. Yeah. Okay, so vote 1 Di Happ on the day. I will make you proud, I will look after you. Clyde Palmer is brilliant. The man I know, yes, a little bit eccentric. He will dance to ABBA, he will sing to ABBA, he will eat sausage rolls and pies for breakfast, and he shouldn't do that. It doesn't mean he has not a brilliant mind, because he has a brilliant mind. He's put out some common sense policies, he's put 150